Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about who can Jinwoo turn into a shadow soldier, who can he not, and the reasons for those restrictions. So let's get right into it. So first, we need to talk about what allows Jinwoo to make shadow soldiers in the first place, and that is his shadow extraction skill. Shadow extraction is a skill Jinwoo earned after clearing the job change quest, the culmination of which was his fight with Igris and then with the summoning mages. Shadow extraction allows its users to revive a slain beast or hunter as a shadow soldier. It is triggered through a set command word, which in the case for Jinwoo is of course arise, does not cost any mana to use, and can be applied over a large radius, allowing its users to extract hundreds of shadows at once if they so choose. Now, let's talk about the restrictions on the skill. Shadow extraction can't be used on targets with contaminated mana, such as demons. Now, what does contaminated mana mean? Demon souls are known to have contaminated mana, but we never really get an explanation for it beyond that, even in the manhwa. So my theory has always been that there's fundamentally something different about demons, whether it's how mana is infused into their bodies and souls, or through a whole separate system than humans entirely, allowing them not to be revived as shadow soldiers because they're fundamentally operating on a different basis, sort of like trying to communicate via a computer on Windows versus on Mac OS or Linux. They just can't really talk to each other, they're just like completely separate. The main place we get to see this is the demon dungeon that Jinwoo enters. This is a S-rank dungeon that is a creation of the system, and the other option is that it's more like a training simulation than a real gate. He's not able to extract shadows from the demons in the demon castle because they're not real. It's not a real gate. They're just like copies or manifestations or like NPCs in a video game. They don't really exist. Now, the obvious question in that case would be, why was Sung able to get Igris and other soldiers from the other dungeon that was created by the system, but not the demon castle? And the answer is probably just because it was also created by the system. However, that dungeon was special because it was created to teach Jinwoo about his new powers. So let's call it giving live targets for that particular dungeon, because the system wanted Sung to learn how to use his new powers. And that kind of also falls in line with some stuff we learn later in the manhwa, but it's kind of, a little up there, a little bit of my own theory, a little bit of infusion from later stuff we know from the manhwa, but I don't want to get too much into that to spoil for anime-only watchers. Another major restriction is that Sung can only successfully extract shadows of enemies equal or weaker than himself. If an enemy is stronger, especially significantly stronger than Sung, he will not be able to extract their shadow because he can't subjugate their will through force. And an offshoot of that is anyone who doesn't want to become a shadow will also have a hard time forcibly being turned into a shadow by Sung. However, if Sung is significantly stronger, he can likely simply force them into submission. We will come to see this very soon in the anime, but again, no spoilers. And lastly, shadow extraction can only be used 3 times on a single target, meaning that they have 3 chances for a successful extraction, meaning like with Baruka, the ice leader of the Red Gate, if Sung fails 3 times, he cannot keep trying. Even with Igris, Sung failed twice before being successful on the 3rd attempt. So hopefully that clears things up. Sung can turn hunters and certain monsters into a shadow soldier, however not demons or anyone that is a creation of pure mana. We will come to learn more about those a little bit later. However, currently it's just demons that he cannot turn into shadow soldiers. Hopefully that clears things up for you guys, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright, see you guys.